And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
And welcome back. Let's Talk Hookup, hour number 2 right here on 97.3 The Fan, YouTube, Facebook Live, and, of course, that Let's Talk Hookup app. And, of course, we don't mention a lot, but the letstalkhookup.com, our website, also streams it, too. Pete Gray here, along with Brandon Bono, filling in this morning. He's our third man on the list, but, boy, we need him this week because poor Ricky's really sick, and so is poor Corey, man. It's been a tough bout with the flu this year.
And I'm so happy to fill in for him, and what a great day we're having with Bob from Katmai Lodge. I love his establishment, and I just jumped at the chance to be here for this one.
And it was so perfect because you just visited there last July during the Let's Talk Hookup trip, and I remember when you came back, I said, "What'd you think?" And your eyes were about 15 feet wide, just like wow,
incredible, nothing short of it.
Yeah, for sure. And we're talking about the world's greatest fisherman, right here. That's what I call him, because this guy fishes. His life is all about fishing, and so
that's always good when you have a fisherman like that who wants to come back.
When he says he's a Katmai Lodge fan, there's something to it for sure. Right. Yeah, definitely. Well, and we're giving away a great prizes.
Well, we really are, and you always do. There's one lucky caller or texter will win a full day trip aboard the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing, plus 4 tickets to the PCS show in Costa Mesa, and that's March 6th through the 9th.
Yeah, and speaking of which, so next weekend on Let's Talk Hookup, a couple great shows. Mike and Kaylin from Ray Marine will be here. Ray Marine's making some amazing stuff. I have it on my boat. It's unbelievable. They're going to have a huge display at PCS show, and they're going to be here to tell you all about it. That's on Saturday. And then next Sunday, Bill and Mike from the PCS show will be here in the studio to tell you all about that fantastic show coming up. And I know Fisherman's Landing Tackle is going to have a massive booth, right?
That's an amazing show that they put on, and we will have a massive booth yet again, and Two Fish Jigs will have the largest presentation we have ever had at Fisherman's Landing Tackle Shop at the PCS show.
Wow.
And the Katmai Lodge booth at the PCS show is what got me intrigued about going to the place. And after I saw your wall mounts, the videos that you're playing, I got so juiced to go up there.
It was like, okay, I can't wait.
Here we go. Yeah.
So look forward to that at of course, the Orange County Fairgrounds right there in Costa Mesa. Easy in and out.
Easy in and out.
Great.
Easy,
whether you're in L.A., San Diego, Orange County, doesn't matter. It's the place to go for sure. And that's coming up, I believe, in 3 weeks. So
that's correct. March 6th through the 9th.
Yeah. We'll be there. Right.
It's
now.
on us. Yeah.
We'll be there too. We'll be there too.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Hey, continuing that question.
Yeah. Okay. We were back. We took the commercial break. We were just at the remoteness of the lodge, and so when you fly to Anchorage, and if you wanted to go to Kenai or any of the other places, you probably heard of it, the Kenai Peninsula, which is very famous. There's fishing's there good. They've really cracked down on the king fishing there, but the fish are still available. But you're fishing right next to elbow to elbow. We call it the combat fishing or cruise ship fishing, where it reminds me of one of the cattle boats.
I've done it before. It's not a pleasant experience.
You're going to catch fish. Yes, you're going to catch fish. It's going to be a little less expensive. Yes, it's going to be less expensive, but you're not getting the remoteness.
You're not getting the true Alaska experience.
True Alaska. And when you come up there to get that true Alaska experience, you want to be on a beach, on a bar with you and your buddy and the guide, and nobody else next to you.
Right.
That's the difference.
Let's specify a sandbar.
A sandbar.
Yeah.
Sandbar. Yeah. So you're right. I should have said sandbar or gravel bar. We call them. It's mostly gravel because that's what the fish are spawning in the gravel, that's why our river is so good. It's just nothing but a big gravel bar, what it is. And then your day starts with breakfast. You get up in the morning, and the restaurant opens at 6. We have 3 chefs and a pastry chef, so we got 4 people throughout the day cooking you.
Unbelievable.
You know, so you get up, you have yourself. You want an omelet, you want just eggs over easy, or you just want some cereal, some oatmeal. You start your day. You go. You have your breakfast. You've already met with the guide the night before, and he's preparing your lunch. So you'll say, "Hey, I want to cook a fish on the river." So you'll have breakfast. He'll get your boat all ready to go. You go eat your breakfast. You go put your waders on. You walk down to the dock. You jump in the boat.
And you don't have to go early.
You do not have to go early.
I mean,
if you
generally speaking, if you want to go at 8 o'clock, seems to be the departure time.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
If you want to go a little earlier, that's fine.
Or you want to go a little later because you fished for 2 days in a row and you're a little sore from catching all the fish. So you start your day and then you head out to the river, and you're not going far. You're just going 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe most 45 minutes, depending on what you want to catch that day. And then you start catching fish at lunchtime. You'll catch a salmon, a nice silver or a king, and he'll whack it on a sockeye, whatever you're there, the time that you're there, whatever fish is running. He'll whack it on the head. He'll slice it up. Each boat has its own barbecue in it. So he'll set the barbecue up. He'll be cooking a nice salmon fillet with all the trimmings, salads, and whatever beverage you want, whether it's beer, wine, or just Coke or water, whatever you like to drink. He'll cook it up for you. You'll be fishing all this whole time, and you'll come in. You'll have lunch right there on the sandbar. And you'll eat, and then you'll go back fishing. He'll clean the boat up, and you'll continue your day. We like to get you back at the launch ramp or the boat ramp right around 5 o'clock, 5:30ish. Not just for safety reasons, is we have the boats going out. I want to make sure everybody's home.
Yeah.
To make sure that there's no stragglers, because even though you do have boats, sometimes a boat won't work.
Yeah.
So you do have that safety reason. Go take a nice hot shower, and that's what the best thing of the whole day is, that nice hot shower that you take in your own bathroom and your own toilet. And then you come for happy hour at 6. You have a little bit of drinks. You see all your pictures on the wall talk to all your other anglers that you're with. And
the guides take great pictures.
Yeah,
they all have cameras.
They all have cameras, and
when you go home, you'll go home with a whole load of your pictures.
We actually even have a better system now since we've changed it up. They just download everything right to your phone.
Oh my!
So it makes it a lot easier for everybody to have it, because everybody just uses their phone anymore.
Yeah.
No one wants. We used to give hard drives with them. Right. But that's already long gone. And then you'll have dinner, and a great dinner is every night. There's something different. We'll have prime rib night. We have steak night. We have fish night. We have Italian night. Depending on which day you're in, and we have Thanksgiving is my favorite one. Yeah. We call it Grandma's Thanksgiving. That's Sundays, and it's turkey, just like you'd have at Grandma's.
Yeah. The food's amazing.
Of the infinite things that you are doing right at your lodge, the food blew my mind. You guys pour it on. It's top level food. The staff there couldn't be nicer and more accommodating.
And you're in the middle of nowhere.
The middle of nowhere. Yeah. How did you do this?
Right. That's the difference between our lodge and most other lodges.
Yeah, for sure. Well, attention to detail.
Your staff is incredible, and I can't recommend enough to the listeners. I grew up watching, fishing shows on television, and I always dreamed of having a true, proper shore lunch. And every day we got to, because you provide these grills, we got to have a true, proper shore lunch. And there's a bear up the river, and there's a moose walking by, and there's bald eagles flying over your head. It was one of the highlights of the trip for me.
And you're eating a barbecued lunch. And if you don't like fish, they bring burgers or chicken or whatever
you
want.
They'll ask you the night before, what would you like? If you had fish last 2 days, you say, no, I want something different. Maybe a piece of prime rib or a sandwich or a burger or hot dogs. We have all that available.
But I got to say, is there anything much better than a piece of sockeye, fresh sockeye
Oh,
that
it's-
you
it's
just
the
caught
best. It's the best.
on the barbecue.
Before
on
this
the
trip,
river.
I didn't know that was the case. And one day, me and the guide were having an argument about what the best eating salmon was, and he promised me it was a sockeye. And I was like, "There's no way. They call it the king salmon for a reason.
Yeah.
It's the king of salmon." And we argued back and forth. And sure enough, throughout the day, I caught every species of salmon that was in the river, and we kept one of each. We ate a fillet of one of each. And no question about it. He was right. You guys were right. Sockeye salmon
away.
is the king. They should call sockeye salmon the king.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you get to, and the thing is, you get to go home with a 50-pound box.
Yeah, and that's another thing
of
we
fresh sockeye
we
fillet.
we offer with our lodge is we box up a 50-pound box of fillets. It's all vacuum packed, vacuum sealed, all the processing. We band it, and then away it goes with you per person.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I know it's a preference thing, but I've been on a lot of trips to a lot of exotic locations. I've never come back with a box of better fish than that box of sockeye you sent me home with.
good, huh?
And I was everybody's best friend. You know, every neighbor came by, everybody I knew.
course.
Corey Sandin drove up to the front door, and I handed them out, and everybody was
Yeah,
super
it's going
thankful.
for like $18 a pound.
Yeah,
right
sure.
now at the
Pretty
store.
crazy. Hey, here's Carl Schmidt from, of course, Fisherman's Landing is saying he's at the Houston Fishing Show watching us on YouTube. So,
Is that
hey,
right?
Carl.
Good morning,
hey,
Carl. I'm missing you.
Nice to see you. Yeah, we miss you over here, but he's the showman.
He is the
He's all over
showman.
the
Yeah,
place.
he was built for it, born for it, and we sent him to all the shows.
For sure. Well, hey, let's continue our catch report. Gundy Gunderson, our surf guru extraordinaire, is on the line. Good morning, Gundy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good morning,
show.
Gundy.
Very interesting stuff. Well, we got some rain, but, before the rain, we saw some real good signs, and I think that's what we're going to, hang our hat on. They had 3 inches of rain up there in Santa Barbara, according to Hook, Line, Sinker, but prior, we talked about a 15-inch barred perch, then we had a 12-inch and a 10-inch, so some quality fish starting to show, and that's something to look at. The other thing about a heavy rain like we just had is that it's going to form those sandbars, trenches, holes, things like that. So this is habitat you're going to be fishing going forward here the next several weeks. The other thing down in Oceanside, they had 2 halibut over 30 inches in the lagoon, so that's a good sign. You're starting to see maybe some of those hens moving. A lot of smaller fish the guys are really picking up. Live bait was best down there. 2.4 ounce or 2 pound 4 ounce barred perch leads the derby there, caught on a bloodworm, and they had a 1 pound 8 ounce fish before the rain, caught on a lucky craft, so that's something to keep an eye on too. So we're moving in the right direction, just a little hiccup, but I tell you, go down to the beach and look at what's formed with 3 inches of rain. There's going to be some sand moving around, and like I said, those are the things you're going to focus on going forward.
Yeah, for sure, Gundy. And wow, what a good surf report. And, always something to catch in the surf once things calm down a little bit, right?
That's right. We're headed to March. That's halibut time, so stick with it.
I like it, man. All right. Thanks, Gundy. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, you guys. Have a good week.
All right. You too. Thanks very much. All right. And that catch report's wrapped up. It's sponsored by surffishtackle.com. It's your source for all things surf fishing, all your surf fish tackle at surffishtackle.com. And Brandon, let's jump back on the phones.
Let's
there
do
is
it.
one line open. You want to get through? Jeff standing by, 833-288-0973.
Let's talk to Alex in San Carlos. Good morning, Alex. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. I was calling a real specific question. If you want to take one of these trips and you don't want to pack your whole DSLR camera and stuff like that, do you guys have a recommendation on a digital camera that's rugged enough and then waterproof, also takes great pictures, just so you can actually blow up pictures? Because on your cell phone, you're kind of limited to what you could actually print out and blow up.
Well, we have we basically have a dry box that we can put your gear in. I've seen everything from long telephoto lens, Nikons, depending on the angler, and sometimes they're photographers there. We do a wilderness package where that's all we do is drive people around with their cameras, and I've seen everything from $5,000 cameras all the way to iPhones. I don't know the recommendation of what you're.
I have a recommendation for you, and I use it everywhere. The only problem is the telephone. Sometimes you want to get that perfect shot of the bear, and it does have a pretty good telephoto on it, but it's the Olympus. I'm looking it up here. It's the Olympus, and they make several. They keep upgrading them. But the thing about this model is it's waterproof to 50 feet. You drop it, and I've dropped mine several times. It's drop proof from 7 feet, and it takes fabulous pictures. I've taken all those pictures I took, and I put an underwater. When I went to Indonesia, and I put an underwater case on it. I took all those pictures with a flash of the underwater shots that I had on it, and it's the TG7. I have a TG6. They keep upgrading them, of course, and they make them better. But it's the Olympus TG7. It's about $500, and I took all the shots that I took on the rivers down in Patagonia with me. It's a great travel camera and perfect for that situation because it's waterproof, and if it starts raining, it doesn't
that's
matter.
great. It's all You can't have anything out there that can't get wet.
Yeah, and I know a lot of your guides have similar cameras too that you supply them, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
we have the basic cameras, but it sounds like you're more photogenic than most. I would take Pete's recommendation and go with that one.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. You have a great text too, right?
I do. I have a bunch of great texts. They're loaded on here. So let me pull this first one up. This one says, "Hi guys, good morning. Katmai Lodge is my bucket list trip. I'm interested in bringing my wife, and she doesn't fish a lot. Can the lodge guides teach her how to fish on the river?" And that's from Rob in Seal Beach.
Oh, absolutely. That's what they're there for. They'd love to have people that are not fly fishermen learn how to fly fish. And the waters that we have, our sandbars and our gravel bars, are really wide open. So the best way to learn is go into the middle river, get yourself on a nice bar, and practice your casting right from the sandbar where behind you there's nothing. So you can make mistakes and not get all tangled up and frustrated. And they love to teach her, and that's what they're there to do.
Yeah, my wife Lolly loves to catch. She doesn't necessarily like to fish.
Right.
She likes to catch.
But that's the beautiful thing about the lodge.
Yeah,
is you're going to catch.
You're going to catch.
Right.
And she loves Katmai Lodge.
Right.
She every aspect of Katmai Lodge is about it. Just the from the shore lunch to the seeing the bears, the moose, the experience, and the catching. That she loves. That
well, that's it. They don't get frustrated once they catch a fish.
Yes.
They want to do it again again, and you can bring in 20, 30 fish before lunchtime easily. Without a problem for the worst angler that you can possibly throw at it, and especially like when the chums are there and the pinks are there, it's almost in every cast.
Yeah,
and you have such an incredible lineup of guides. So there were some of the most fun and like accommodating guides you could possibly ever come across.
Oh,
and
they better be. They better be.
And they've dealt with people of all skill levels,
and they love someone that wants to learn. The ladies and all that, because they're just standing there watching. They catch fish after fish after fish, and they always want to teach someone how to do it.
Yeah, for sure. One thing we haven't covered is the trout fishing there. The trout fishing can be unbelievable, especially as you get into the fall
fall season towards the silvers, which is one of the favorite ones that I like to fish with.
So much fun.
Is the silver fishing, and the trout fishing goes hand in hand, because in our river system, the sockeyes swim all the way through the river, go through the lakes, and spawn above the lakes. But the chum salmon and the pink salmon actually lay their eggs in our river. So the trout start coming down from the lakes to feed on the trout.
Yeah.
And then the trout, they're just really, and you can. You've been there, Pete. You know what I'm talking about.
It's and you're sight casting a lot of times.
You're seeing, because the water's so clear that you can see the fish. And my favorite thing is a mouse. Catching a trout on a fly line with a mouse. and it's floating line. You toss your mouse across the little channel and let it jump into the water, and you're kind of basically imitating a little mouse or a rat, swimming across the water, scurrying across. And these rainbows, the big ones, love them.
Oh yeah, they come up. It's like surface iron fishing on steroids.
Right, and it literally explodes out of the water going up, or I've seen them jump before the mouse and come down on them, on top of them, and that is just seeing that itself is worth the catch.
The hardest part of that, Brandon, you got to wait to set the hook.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because you got to make sure that they're coming down and they have that big old thing in their mouth.
And it makes it a little bit harder to catch because we're using barbless hooks. Right. We're in the national park, so they use barbless hooks for the trout. So once you do catch it, you got to keep that line taut. And if you let it slack off as he's splashing and going, he's going to pop off, and you got to go get another one.
It is, right. And that's the thing about it, the variety there.
Right.
So during a pink year, which is 2026,
correct,
is the trout fishing better in the Alagnak River, which is your main river, because of all those eggs in the river?
It's going to improve. It definitely improves on even, but it's still great when it's not. Because there's multiple the kings are spawning in our river. The chums are spawning, but the pinks just adds another 2 million fish in our river. So it is. It's just
they're literally swimming through your legs.
Yeah, and you got to watch out, because if you let your lure hit, or your fly hit the water while you're walking back to the boat, more than likely one's going to swim through your legs and you're going to hit.
Yeah,
and then we've snapped many of poles that way, because no one. Yeah, they're carrying their rod, and all of a sudden the thing takes off.
Yeah. Well, Loomis rods are guaranteed for life. So. Hey, Gary, the Iron Man himself from Lawndale says, "Good morning, Bob. I fly fish Alaska in the Kenai River. What fish could I catch at your lodge? Is it catch and release only?"
No, it's we have all 5 species of salmon that run up our river. And so it's not catch and release for the salmon. We have the bag limits for it, but our king fishing's still available right now. They've canceled the king fishing in the Kenai River, and all in the Cook Inlet basically is shut down for king fishing. If you do catch one, you got to let it go. But in our river, we can still keep them.
Yep.
The only fish that is catch and release is the rainbow trout.
Yeah.
So if you catch a rainbow, you take your picture, which are great pictures when the sun is shining, and you got to let it go. But you definitely keep all your salmon.
And your rainbow trout, for all our Southern California listeners, are a different species than what we're used to in our stocked ponds down here.
A lot bigger. There's no stocked fish up there.
They pull hard,
and they're gorgeous. Like every one you catch, it doesn't matter if it's 8 inches or 28 inches, is picture worthy.
Yeah. You can go on our website and see some of the trout that we catch there, and obviously stop by the PCS show and see our show. We got books that you can thumb through and check out our trout fishing.
Yeah.
But you won't be disappointed.
No, you will not be disappointed.
And another species that I was super enthused to catch up there was the grayling.
Oh,
I didn't think I was going to catch any grayling. And I caught a grayling on every lure that I presented, and they were so bitchin'. What a beautiful fish that is.
It's if you're a fly fisherman that likes to use dry flies that float up on top of the water, that's the graylings or your ticket.
Super fun.
Yeah, and they're fun, and you can catch 100 of them in a day.
I am an avid fly fisherman, but one of my favorite things to do at Katmai is fishing the jig for the king salmon, like bouncing the jigs in the holes for the kings, because the hit is so violent. And once you get one of those on, it's like game on. Pull hard. Because they're 20+ pound fish.
Right. Yeah. The jig fishing for the kings is kind of like our San Diego fishing. You're down at the deep water and the deep holes, and you're just popping it up, and boom, all of a sudden one takes off.
Now, a deep hole, mind you, is 15 feet.
It's 15 feet. Yeah, 15 feet's a deep hole.
But it's pretty fun.
That was something I found remarkable about the difference. I'd only ever, before going to your lodge, I'd only ever caught salmon in the saltwater, and I wasn't particularly impressed by the strength of them. Right. And then when I went to your lodge and was fishing your river, the violence at which the kings and the chums bit, but especially the kings bit everything. You know, if you're fishing a little spinner on straight braid, they want to rip the rod out of your hand and then go on a wicked run. And the chums would not give up. You know, it was like catching a yellowtail on a.
Well, once they enter the freshwater systems, their hormones start to change. So they're more like a 18-year-old or 20-year-old. They're going up to spawn. Okay. That's it. They're going up there. This is their last hurrah.
That's it, man. They spawn and die.
They spawn and die. And everyone's going to die. Every fish that goes by. So those 4 or 5 million fish that go by, everyone is dead. You know, by the end of the season. So and that's something to see itself is you know, part of nature is like, oh man, look at all the beaches just littered with dead fish.
Look at that 40-pound king laying there, right?
Yeah. And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And they turn into, like, we call them zombies. They kind of like swim, and they're all spawned out, and they're in their dying stage.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere. But the fish all feed the rest of the fish, the graylings, the trout. That's what they're coming down to eat. Right. The bears, the eagles. That's what makes Alaska. It's the food chain.
I mean, you hear us describing it. There's so much about it.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, is that the fishing is just the cusp of it, right?
And I'm so jealous. You get to see the cyclical nature of nature. You know, you get to see it unfold in front of your eyes. When I was there, just the course of the trip, you got to see different migrations of fish and different throughout your entire season. You get a little piece of everything that the river could provide.
The salmon feeds Alaska. That's what everything's there. And if it wasn't for the salmon, there would be very little wildlife there, because there's so much that goes up there. All the trees and the bushes and the grandkids and everything are all eaten off the grandparents.
Yeah, and I might say too, don't worry about the bears, because they have plenty to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are I'm not going someplace where I can get eaten by a brown bear, right?
Yeah.
They could care less.
They can care less about us.
Yeah. I mean, you respect them. You respect your distances.
Right.
But they are so.
More people get killed by a moose taking pictures of a moose than a bears in Alaska.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Charmel sent a text here. She says, "Sorry I missed you guys. Not everyone's going to going through their questions today, but she says she wants everybody to know that can't get through or that has another question about Katmai, that she's available anytime at 800-330-0326. That's 800-330-0326. And of course, she'll be there at PCS with you, answering questions and stuff like that. So, hi, Charmel. Nice to see you. All right. Hey, let's find out what's biting out there. Yosef Husseini, the Anglers Realtor, is ready to give us the info. And Brandon? And it's sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing on your long-range trip. I know a lot of our listeners do that. Hey, they have more team members. Fisherman's Processing is so far ahead of everybody else, it's crazy. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street, or check out fishermansprocessing.com and make your reservations today. Good morning, Yosef.
What's happening, guys? How are we doing today?
Doing great. Kind of a challenging week to give a fish report because there was a little weather we had to deal with, right?
That is very true. Well, as all of you know, I'm sure the water's rolled pretty hard, but, you know, that's not always a horrible thing because it's bringing nutrients in and feeding these fish and feeding the bait fish that our big game fish are eating. But there's still some action out there in between these rough spots of weather. Up in the Santa Monica Bay area, the bass fishing slowed down quite a bit. There's still some boats running twilights that are getting them on the artificial reef. Long Beach down to Palo Verde, cold water. There's a lot of navigational hazards. So everybody out there with these fires we had and runoff coming down the rivers, we're going to have a lot more stuff in the water. Be very careful while you're out there. In that area, the Long Beach area, they've still been catching some halibut, though, even in between this kind of bad weather. Same stuff, halibut coming on the squid, either pieces on a jig head or live stuff that you're catching. Up at Catalina, it is brown and dirty. There have been some halibut still caught on the backside in 15 to 50 feet of water. The spots with the classic milky green color water, producing best right up on the edges. Best scores you're going to find are always going to be off of structure on the hard bottom. Find the bait, find the structure, you'll find the halibut. South of there, La Jolla's been pretty darn quiet. Nobody at the island's really giving us reports either. Ensenada, there's still some reports of yellowtail off of the Bonda Bank. And that's all I got for you today, guys.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good with what the weather's thing. And, of course, fishdope.com. You get all your information from Danny and the boys over there. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HookupNow, lowercase, no space. $30 off using the code HookupNow, lowercase, no space. And, Joseph, how do we find you for the best in real estate?
You can get me on my cell phone at 619-277-2169. You can get me on social media at Cal Realty. You can also get me on my website at sportsmansrealty.com. If you'd like a free home evaluation, go to SoCalHomeEval.com and we will kick you out an evaluation and promise not to stalk you out.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and it's true. That really is the truth, too. And I also want to mention, too, that thanks to Joseph and his help, he assisted me, because he used to be in this business, getting a brand new Let's Talk Hookup sticker that we're going to be giving away and premiering at the PCS show. So thanks for the help on that, Joseph. And come on by the Let's Talk Hookup booth at the PCS show and grab one of the new Let's Talk Hookup stickers.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Very much. Appreciate that.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charts. Focus your fishing on the most productive areas by using Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature. Chlorophyll, currents, and much, much more. With Terrafin Mobile, you can access your charts on your phone or any mobile device. Check terrafin.com for more information.
And when we come back, we're going to hear more from Bob Kantor, Katmai Lodge, and more about this amazing place. Your phone calls, your texts coming up. Stay tuned. This is Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from a day and a half to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best booth at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, where we will have some amazing deals for you on rods, reels, lures, and clothing. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. they become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Whether you're boating, floating, paddling, fishing, or just chilling, remember a good day on the water always starts with everyone wearing life jackets. Save the ones you love. Life jackets save lives. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention that's pretty important to a lot of us that are business people and want to stay connected is you have Starlink now at the lodge.
Oh, it's a game changer.
It's a game. So you could be fully connected at home. Yeah. You can stream movies if you want, whatever.
Yeah, send pictures, make phone calls, via Wi-Fi, phone Wi-Fi on your regular smartphone.
Right. And how much do you charge the people at the lodge?
Nothing for that.
That's
it's part of the business.
Part of the deal.
Part of the expense of getting up there.
Yeah.
And you are offering the best of both worlds. It could not be a better break from reality and a better break from your normal day-to-day activity. But then also you want to reach out and go back home. You can text, you can phone call, you can watch a video.
You can send an email for your business. You can check on your patients. So everybody's just extremely happy with it. And back in the old days, it would just sit there and spin, and now none of that. It just works perfectly.
Yeah, faster than what you probably have right now.
Absolutely. Well, it's you don't even know it. You think you're at home.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, Brandon, phones are packed up. You want to get through? Still time to talk to it. 833-288-0973. Let's jump into it.
All right, let's talk to Chuck from Dana Point. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, you guys. I have never tried fly fishing, but just listening to you guys over and over, I'm like already addicted to it. Can't wait to try it.
It is addicting.
There's nothing to be afraid of. I avoided it for many, many years, and now that I've done it, I as soon as I got home, I was shopping Gene Limas rods, and I was trying to figure out what weight meant what.
Yeah.
I really, really dug it.
I give you a year, you guys will have a fly fishing section in the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, all the life up there that you get to see that you don't see, you just watch TV and look at pictures, and then it's in front of you. Man, that just got to be breathtaking. And then the rainbows, what do those taste like? That they're natural rainbows, eating that kind of bait and fish and salmon and stuff. What do those guys taste like?
Well, we don't really eat the rainbows there because you pretty much are not allowed to. They're a catch and release fish, but I've caught rainbows up in Mammoth area, and it's a white fish. It doesn't freeze very well. So when you catch a rainbow, and if you leave the park, you can catch rainbows. So if you go, like on a fly out somewhere, you can have one. But most of us just let them go up there. But eating them, it's great when you can catch one, fry it up in the pan right then and there, eat it fresh. You bring it home, put it in the refrigerator at night or the next day, and it gets mushy.
And in Alaska, at Katmai, the availability of the fresh salmon is overwhelms everything.
Yeah, why would you come home with trout that you can catch beautiful sockeye salmon and come home with a cooler full of sockeye? You leave the other fish alone. Take a picture. It's a great picture. It's a great fish to catch, but we just catch and release on the trout.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. You have a great text up, Brandon.
I do. I have a bunch of them. The first one I have here says, "Good morning, guys. My question is, are there any opportunities to fish for rainbow trout near the lodge? Thanks. That's from John and Carson.
Well, you can go catch rainbow trout right on the dock. How's that?
Yeah.
And big ones too.
Yeah,
because a lot of them, we have our cleaning station right there, and just happens to be they're right there.
They're like pets.
They're basically It's like piranha.
And everywhere you go throughout the river, you may catch any one of the things that are in the river, but rainbow trout seem to be everywhere.
The rainbows are the whole time. They're a fish that lives in the river system, in the lake system, so they're always there. So when you are catching your salmon and you've caught 50 of them in the morning and you're ready to call it quits, then you break out the fly rod and you use a number 6 weight fly rods. We have those with them for the trout. We use 8s for the salmon, 8s and 9s, but for the trout we want to go with a 6 weight. And they're in the boat. You just tell your guide, okay, let's go trout fishing now, and then spend the rest of the afternoon, practicing your skills.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because there's 2 completely different types of rivers on the Alagnac River. You go downriver toward the ocean, and that's where a lot of the salmon and the chum and some of the sockeye. Or you go upriver and then way up to the Braids, which is absolutely stunningly beautiful area, and they call it the Braids because it kind of
it fingers out,
right?
And there's just different channels, and there's 90 miles of river, and if you added all the channels, it'd be hundreds of miles of river. If all so you can have 5 people in the same spot or sideways swath, and you wouldn't even see each other because you're down a different channel that you float through.
And it's looking. Did you get a chance to go up?
I didn't, but everybody that I spoke to that had gone up the Braids all told me it was a trip in and of itself.
Yeah,
it was it was a trip within a trip, and it was spectacular. And is it not one of the only places on Earth that you can go do the mouse thing in the right time of year?
Well, the mousing is my favorite thing to do, but you don't have to use a mouse. You could use a fly. You can use a flesh fly. You can use there's all different baits that you want to do. Egg patterns, and it all depends on the time of year you show up. If you show up, in say late August, the trout are only going to hit on a mouse or an egg pattern. They're not even going to touch a leech or a flesh fly because that's what they're eating at the time. It's kind of like the hatch. You're waiting for the hatch. You use what the fish want to eat at that time. And that's what the guide's there for, is to know when, okay, we need to switch over to something different because this is what they're feeding on.
Yeah, some of the most famous trout rivers in the world are right in their backyard. The Moraine, the American, 2 of the world renowned, the Battle, 2 of the most, or several of the most world renowned. And I remember having fished the Moraine and the American. You have to do a fly out with Bob. Bob takes you up to a remote lake. They land on the lake, and then you wave them goodbye for the day. What? You're leaving us? And then you walk into the river, and you're sight casting for 22 to 30 plus inch rainbows that are sitting behind the sockeye eating their eggs.
Correct.
And bears are all around there eating the sockeye, and it's just one of the most great experiences of my life.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah, it's truly. But to be able to do that, you have to go kind of like the second or third week in August up to like the beginning of September.
Well, no, you can do basically our best fly fishing is either very early for trout, that is for trout, or starting at August. August is beginning of August. So anytime the first, second week of August is great trout fishing. Excellent trout fishing.
Yeah, great. Hey, I have a great text here. It says, "Hi guys," this is from Sean, and he says, "Hi guys, learning a lot already. Checked out your website. Very impressive. It is a great website. Katmai, KATMAI.com. Very impressive. Can you talk about bag limits and how much you can bring back?"
We bring back 50 pounds, and the reason you're going to catch way, way more than 50 pounds of fish, but since we're a remote lodge, that's all we can put in the airplane and get everybody off the ground. Is the bottom line, and we make sure that you at least come home with a 50-pound box of fillets. And the bag limits are depending on what species you're catching. You can catch as many as you want and just let them go. But the fishing game, it requires, at the beginning of the season, it's 5 a day for salmon, and then they bump it up after a couple weeks to 10 a day, which is a lot of fish.
It's a lot of fish.
Everybody.
More than you need.
Yeah, more than you need.
More than you need, for sure. Hey, Mike Pritchard from the Tribute's on the line. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Hey, doing great. Hey, so what's going on the Tribute?
We're going to be out Friday night. We've had a little bit of weather to deal with here the last couple of weeks, and it looks nice. A nice change of pace. We still have a handful of spots open, and if it's anything like it was our last few trips down there, really, really, really good lingcod fishing, good red fishing, and they, like we talked about last time, they're not small lingcod; they're good ones.
And this is down Colonet area.
Yeah. Friday afternoon we leave at 5:00. Last time I checked, there's still 6 spots open. So the week after that, and this is weather pending. Looks like it's going to be really nice for a while, but we already have enough people to go on that trip as well.
Such a cool trip, and it's world class bottom fishing down there. And then of course you always have the opportunity for a school of yellows to swim through and bend the whole boat over.
Or maybe a bluefin.
Yeah, yellows and bluefin. I mean, it hasn't. It's happened on a handful of trips over the last few years where you accidentally catch bluefin on a shrimp fly.
Well, if somebody's going to kick off the season, I believe it's going to be you, Mike. We need you.
Well, yeah, it's this last couple of weeks has definitely been a little something, but it doesn't look like there's a storm in sight down here for a while, and I think aside from a little bit of a swell, it's like 6 foot, but it's no more than like 5 or 6 knots of wind all day. It should be epic.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you at the PCS show?
Maybe.
How's the knee recovery?
It's come a long way. I think I'm way ahead of schedule, which is a good thing. It's I just got to be make sure I'm not too overeager and jump on a boat too soon.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds good.
But Derek ran the last trip at really good lingcod fishing. So I'll make an appearance at the PCS show for sure.
All right. Well, if somebody wants to ride the Tribute, grab on that one next weekend. How do we get a hold of you?
Seaforth Landing, 619-224-3383, seaforthlanding.com, tributesportfishing.com. And, take a look back at our social media. I mean, the lingcod they're lunkers. And you can keep 5 of them, 5 reds, 5 lingcod, or maybe get a shot at some yellowtail or even a bluefin down there. You never know.
Sweet. Sounds like fun to me. All right. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
We'll check back with you guys after the weekend.
Let us know how the trip goes next weekend. Appreciate that very much. All right. And you have a good one, huh?
I do. I have a bunch of texts that have flown through. This one comes from Mike in San Juan Capistrano, and it says, "Good morning, guys. I have a PCS show question. I was as curious if Katmai Lodge will have 2025 availability for booking, and are there going to be show specials?"
Oh, absolutely. We have a great show special going, and for 2025, we got 4 and 7 day trips starting on August 12th, and another one. We have a 4-day trips on July 5th through the 9th. You can see us if you're going to be at the PCS show. We'll be over there in I don't know exactly what booth number we are at this time, but you can check into that.
Yeah, you'll be there, and Charmel will be there.
Yep, Charmel will be there.
Videos, and you can book. You can book
them right there on the 2025 and talk to us directly and book right at the show.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we have one boat available for our
that's
Let's
a great
Talk
one
Hookup
too.
trip,
That's a phenomenal trip
on the 15th of July.
The 16th through the
16th
16th through the 23rd.
And you're going to go fishing with Rockcod Rick and his lovely wife Dallas.
Yep.
And
the rest of the group, the rest of the
great
group.
people. Yeah, and
it's a lot of fun.
And it's a special Let's Talk Hookup price.
That is correct.
So it's like over a $500 discount that Bob gives us on those. And then in 2026, the same applies. I'm going on 2026. But it's not too early to book your dates.
Yeah, you can book for next year if you're.
I believe it's July 15th on that.
That is correct. 15th through the 22nd.
So the 22nd. All right. Hey, let's jump into the phones.
All right, let's talk to Tom in University City. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning. Great show. Most of my questions got answered. I was really interested in how salmon behave in freshwater versus saltwater, and also the day in the life description. It sounds like a good day.
It's a good day.
It's a great day. It's their last hurrahs. The salmon's going up on their last hurrah. So they meet their ladies and they're going up there, and then they're going to all die.
Right. Yeah, I was just wondering, you mentioned all the different types of salmon, but could you just like give a quick overview of what the differences are between the different types of salmon that you catch up there?
Right. Okay. You start out with the king salmon, and they're the biggest ones. They're the ones that everybody heard about. We used to catch 60-pound kings back in the day. That just ain't happening anymore. Either the overfishing or the genetics have shrunk them down. But we're now about the 30 to 40 pounders is what we're catching there, and that is for July fishing only. It basically the fishing game keeps it from late June to August 1st is the season. Then basically you get the king run first, and then you get the sockeye run. The sockeye is the most plentiful. And it's our biggest runs, and they are what you see mostly in all the fancy restaurants. They're the meat eating, the red salmon. It's the salmon, sockeye red salmon. And every salmon has two different names to it. You got the local name, and then you have the American name to it. And then you get the humpies that come in. Those are called the pink salmons, and they come in right after the sockeye, between basically July 10th through the middle of August to the end of August. With those, you get the chum salmon, and then the chum salmon are the bulldogs. Those things pull like no tomorrow. Yeah. They're the toughest ones of all of them. And then at the last of it, that comes in right around the middle of August through September, is the silver salmon. The silver salmon are the most aggressive, and the little harder to catch, but once you catch one, you know you got it. They're the acrobatics ones. They're the ones that jump, flip, spin, and they're great for topwater fishing and to be able to visually see what you're catching.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And that's the five species. All five species.
And an interesting thing too is the pink salmon. They're in every year, but the abundance is every other year.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
How does that work? I mean, how do they figure that out?
How do they know?
It's like every even year there's a big pink run.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, and you'll catch a few, like this year there'll be pinks in there, but we call them the stupid ones. They'll come in with the chums, but then next year the even years. So the even years are for our river. Now other rivers got different times. Sometimes other rivers will have their fish show up on an odd day, on an odd year, I should say.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for the call this morning. Real quick, we only have a little bit left here, but this is an interesting question here. And it's for 15 years, my stepdad and I used to fish the Kenai River, staying in Soldotna. We fished the Soldotna all the way down to Homer. My question for Bob is, at your lodge, when you're catching salmon, how fresh are the fish? The reason I'm asking is when we were fishing in Soldotna and Kenai, primarily for reds or sockeye, but they chased the kings many times. The fish we caught were bright and still had sea lice on them. Are the fish at your lodge the same? And that's from Paul.
That is a great question. And we're only 13 miles from the ocean. So our fish, most of them will have sea lice on them. Bright silvers, bright as bright can be. That's the ones you want to put in your box. Yeah. If it starts to get any red on there, or striped up like the chums get, you throw that one back and you catch another one in the next 2 minutes. So you're putting so as you're catching it throughout the day, you're being very choosy on which fish you want to put in your box, because you're going to be catching a bunch of them. You're going to be catching 30 of them. No, I don't want that one. It's got a little scar on it, or it's got a net scar. No, I don't want that one. It's a little bit of But the sea lice is what you want. If it has sea lice, it's going to be bright.
Yeah, for sure. And that's true with the kings are bright.
Yes.
And the chums are bright. The pinks are bright.
If you stop by our booth at the PCS show, we can show you the difference and how it all changes.
It's pretty amazing, the metamorphosis of the salmon life.
Now you might not.
You got to experience that. Right?
I got to experience, but only a small sample size. But just how the chum looks, the chum as it goes up the river looks crazier and crazier and crazier. It's a gnarly fish.
And the farther you get inland, the the fish change. So because it's obviously they're in the fresh water longer to get up there. So if most lodges that are deep into Alaska, you won't catch silvers or bright chum fish that are really bright, or sockeye,
they'll be all red,
they'll all
gnarly,
be red.
and,
Right. When you go trout fishing up in the Moraine Creek, they're as red as red paint gets when you're up there. But you don't even want to think of eating one of those.
No. Yeah, it's an interesting experience and education in the life of a salmon.
They're basically rotting from inside out.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, what a great show. Hey, when we come back, a lot more Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to be giving away that great prize and wrap things up with Bob here, tell you about next week's show. Stay tuned. This is Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have two goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's Norsk lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
Hey, San Diego, it's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon. 4 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. From F-150, Bronco Sport, or the all-electric Mustang Mach-E. It's your time to save during Sell-a-thon. But it all ends February 17th, so visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up. This year, make reliable boating your resolution and back it with exhilarating deals with a new Yamaha outboard during Yamaha's New Year, New Reliability sales event. From now until March 31st, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of coverage protection. Looking to hit the water with lower horsepower? There's a deal for you too. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $200 in dealer credit toward the purchase of additional goods and services. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2025. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude 24-month Yamaha extended service added to a 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealer for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Get ready for the most exciting outdoor show of the year. The giant 15th annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show, March 6th to the 9th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts taking up all 7 halls at the fairgrounds. 217,000 square feet, plus fantastic seminars and free kids trout pond. Backed by popular demand, the PCS show also has freshwater to cover bass and trout. Learn from some of the top names in the sport fishing industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. 4 full days, Thursday, March 6th to Sunday, March 9th. The 15th annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle, Boat, and Travel Show at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it.
Here's the hot tip on the best fishing LA has to offer. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. They are home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnight on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and 3/4-day trips on the Sea Angler. For your own private charter, we have the Outrider and Trueline available. There's always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or on the web at 22ndstreet.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, and Facebook Live. And we're having a great time talking with Bob from Katmai Lodge.
Yeah, and Bob's getting ready to flip the coin to see who's going to win that 4 tickets to the PCS show along with the trip on the Liberty. Go ahead, Bob.
Here you go, guys.
Texter or caller.
And the lucky winner is a caller, and the caller is John from San Diego. Congratulations, John.
All right, congratulations, John.
Congratulations, John.
We enjoyed see you at the PCS show, and of course we'll see you on the Liberty too. And Bob, such a great show.
It's always a great time,
place,
guys, coming down and talking to you.
Looking forward to seeing you and Charmel at the PCS show here coming.
Come visit us, everybody.
And if we want to book a trip, especially that trip this year on the Let's Talk Hookup trip to go fishing with Ricky in Dallas there in July. One boat available for either 2 or 3 people, and again, the third person goes for half price if you do take 3. But how do we get a hold of you?
Get a hold of Charmel. You can reach her either at katmai.com, or the phone number is 1-800-330-0326.
All right, very good. Thanks for listening today. Thanks to Jeff for manning all the phones and the boards, and Mike and Caleb from Ray Marine next Saturday. Next Sunday, Bill and Mike from PCS shows. We'll see you next week right back here on the 97.3 The Fan, YouTube, Facebook Live, and at Let's Talk Hookup app.